Hello and welcome back to Frogboy X1 Gaming. I'm Andrew and today we're going to talk about why I downgraded from a 12 Newton meter direct drive wheel with load cell pedals to the Thrustmaster T248. Now in all honesty, I do still have access to my Fanatec DD Pro, but I'm talking about the Camus C12 and the LC100 load cell pedals that I downgraded from, and I've basically been using this Thrustmaster T248 for the last probably, I think it's almost been a month. Thrustmaster did send this out to me, so I want you guys to know that too. They did provide this as a review thing. So it's one of those things where like when I first started sim racing, I was with Thrustmaster. Thrustmaster was my brand, was the brand that I was using for all of my sim racing needs. We're gonna do a freaking road that like I feel a little bit comfortable on. Why we're doing this talk. I'm gonna turn it. Well, you know, I kind of want you guys to be able to see that and me at the same time. So how about right there? I'm sorry, I'm gonna be paying attention to like the driving and stuff, but I wanna talk about why I made that decision because I gave the C12 and the pedal set to my son-in-law. And that was after, you know, doing a bunch of testing on this T248. And to be completely honest, my friends, it really does have a lot to do with compatibility, but also the fact that like a lot of people can't just run out and spend upwards of $1,600 for sim racing equipment. And I want people to be able to get into sim racing and have a fun time. And the T248 delivers that. Like this 100% delivers a good enough experience to where I'm like, oh yeah, dude, I could easily recommend that to the people that watch this channel and be like, and feel comfortable and feel good about that, being able to recommend something like this. Like there's no reason why, you know, you can't have fun on this. And I get it, you know, obviously I still have access to a direct drive wheel. I love direct drive, but if you can't afford direct drive, like you can't afford it. But that doesn't mean that something like a T248 can't deliver that experience for you. And to be completely honest with you guys, with the Camus is awesome. They are. If you ever do come across one, you can honestly pick them up you can get them on Amazon now. The fact that you can buy a Camus C12, the load cell pedals, all of the kit right there on Amazon, have it delivered right to your house, absolutely incredible. I don't dislike Camus. I do actually think they are a very, very good brand. And out of all of the ones that are coming over there, they are probably the ones that are the most creative. You know, the C12 and the C5, very, very creative. To be able to have that wheel in the freaking actual base is pretty freaking creative. I like that. They're very aesthetically pleasing. They look freaking cool when they work. When you're not playing around trying to get them set up, gosh dang, those things are awesome, man. They work so well, and you can have such an amazing time on them. And they are very good. They're very good direct drive wheels. They just lack that compatibility. And honestly, guys, my biggest reason is like compatibility. I'm a content creator. New games come out, racing games. I gotta be able to play them day one. I have to, and I can't spend, you know, I can't spend a whole bunch of time trying to get that thing dialed in and set up for every single game. So that's where Thrustmaster comes in. When you get into a game like right here, WRC generation, or yeah, WRC freaking EA Sports WRC. You get into this game and it just works. You don't need to play with any settings. You don't need to adjust this. You don't need to adjust that. You just get a good overall feeling. And that's like straight out of the box. But there are actual settings, you know, 3 different programmable settings in the Thrustmaster wheelbase that you can just get in there and 100% start playing, and it feels good. Like it represents, you know, what sim racing would feel like. to be completely honest with you guys, the whole thing that set this whole thing off, honestly, was the PXN. It wasn't even really the Camus. The Camus was actually not that big of a problem, but when I got the PXN shipped out to me, that V99, and I was doing like so with the V9, they sent me a V9 and a V99 at the same time, and I tested the V9 just for a few minutes. I was, my nephews had just gotten in like a major accident, so I wanted to give it to them so that they could play around with it on their Xbox, because that's literally what it is a freaking kid's toy. And I said that in the review. I wasn't, I didn't sugarcoat it or anything like that, but it worked for the games that they had, so I felt okay. Is what happens with the V99, the PXN steering bases, is they market them as they are good for, they market them as they're good for PlayStation 4, Xbox, PC, all of that stuff. And I mean, they're not lying. Technically, if you plug a controller into them, it will recognize the Wheelbase as a controller on your Xbox. And so that only works for certain games. It only works for certain games. Like if you want to play something like Assetto Corsa on your Xbox, you're not going to be able to, because it doesn't recognize the steering input as a steering wheel, and so it just doesn't work. Well, you can get like the steering, but the pedals aren't going to work for some reason. I don't know. Like it just didn't work. And I'm not going to sit there and play around with it. When you have something like a Thrustmaster T248 that is perfectly fine. Perfectly fine experience, and that's the little brother to the T248. That one is like all plastic, and it feels like plastic. Honestly, guys, if your budget is say you're thinking, oh man, I'm gonna get me that new DualSense Edge, or I'm gonna buy me that Nacon 5 Revolution Pro, or that Xbox freaking Elite Series 2 controller for my racing games and stuff like that. If that is your mindset, I recommend the T128. They're about the same price. They're a couple $100. You get into the T128 for your racing games, and you can have such an amazing time with that wheel. It is pretty fun. You get yourself the Next Level Racing wheel stand. They actually just put out a new wheel stand. Next Level Racing did. I am an affiliate with Next Level Racing, guys. There is a link in the description. And yes, I do stand by their products, and I've put together multiple of their wheelbases now. Their platforms now, and every single one of them absolutely incredible. So when I'm looking at that, and like the new Thrustmaster the new Next Level Racing, it's the Next Level Racing 2.0 wheel stand light. So it's a light one. It's something that you can literally put all your stuff on, and then slide right up to the couch and play your racing games. I'm actually gonna buy one pretty soon. I've got a G923 coming from Logitech that I am going to pair with that. So I'm going to buy one and have Amazon just ship it over to me. I don't expect Next Level Racing to just give me everything. There's some stuff that I just want to buy and test out on my own, so that, I don't want the community to think that I'm just like a complete freaking shill, but I'm pretty shilly for Next Level Racing, man. They are pretty, I love their equipment. I have zero issues with it. It 100% gets the job done, and it's good quality. Good quality. I've had that FGT that they sent me for almost like a couple of years now. But I know we're getting. This is a long course, so I got to keep talking you through this. But look at it this way, okay? The Camus C12, 12 newton meters of power. Never ever ran it at 12 newton meters of power. It was just too much. Like 12 newton meters of power is just a little bit too much for a lot of games that you're going to play, especially if rally. It was way too much. I literally would run that at 25% on my rally games. So I'm not even using the full on freaking 12 newton meters of power for that. I'm literally using like 3. Like if it's 12 newton meters of power, I'm using 3 of them. You know what I mean? At 25%, I'm using 3 of them. If it's like Assetto Corsa Competizione, I'm at half. So I'm using 6? I'm using 6 newton meters of freaking power for that. I mean, obviously you could go up a little bit more on that, but I mean, when I'm using my fanny boy, I'm right at the 8 newton meters. I've got a big wheel on there. I've got the 330 millimeter R330 rim on there, so using that, yeah, I mean, I can crank that up to 8 Newton meters and it feels actually just fine. It probably feels the same as like a 6 Newton meter on a 280 millimeter rim, so it pretty much feels about the same. Now, I did take that rim off of that and put it on the Camus, so I did have a bigger rim on the Camus at one time, but guys, I wasn't even really super disappointed with Camus. I need to be upfront with you. I need to be honest with you. It's just, I need that compatibility, man. I need that day one compatibility, and Camus just couldn't give that to me. And it usually comes far too late. Like setting it up with this game, EA Sports WRC, was kind of annoying. Like, you got to set it up, and then you got to invert like your force feedback on a bunch of games, and then I don't know, guys. And like a lot of the MOZA guys are like, you don't know what you're talking about. And I'm like, dude, you guys literally are saying the same thing that I'm saying with Camus about having to do a lot of this stuff. And when you get like a Thrustmaster and you just plug it in and it's plug and play, I don't think a lot of people that watch this channel, or I think that a lot of people that are going to get influenced by my channel to do sim racing, man, you guys aren't looking for that full-on sim racing experience where you've got to get in there and fine-tune everything, because I'm like 50-50 on that. To be completely honest with you guys, I'm about 50-50. I don't mind getting in there and setting up things on games that I've been playing for a while. I like if I'm playing a Assetto Corsa Competizione, then I'll get in there and I've got like a whole programmed file for Assetto Corsa on my Fanatec. But if it's a game that like just barely comes out and I'm trying to put out content, I don't have time to play with it. I would much rather just jump on the Fanatec or the Thrustmaster and start covering the game. Look at this, I got myself in this situation. I would rather just jump on the Thrustmaster or the Fanatec and just start covering it, because they've got day one support and they're probably already auto-tuned for those games. So one of the things that like I was struggling with Fanatec when I first bought it, because Camus was my first DD. When I first bought the DD Pro, and I would get onto games like, because like on Camus I had to set everything up. So like my mindset when I got the Fanatec was, oh my gosh, I got to set all this stuff up too. And so I would just get in there and I would start playing with stuff and trying to make games feel right, and it would kind of ruin them. But I went back to some of my WRC games from Kiloton, and you just hit the auto button on your Fanatec and it sets it up perfectly. It feels incredible. You don't even have to play with it. You just get in there and you start playing. It's the same with Thrustmaster. They both feel incredible. You just set. The only thing you really got to set is your wheel rotation. Same thing with gosh dang it, Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown. I was able to just jump in there on both of these wheel setups and they just work. Now I'm pretty sure the Camus would work just fine with because it works pretty good with all of those KT racing games, but you do have to set it up individually. Trying to set up the Camus on something like Wreckfest, it was such a pain in the butt. Setting it up for Beam and G, such a pain in the butt. Like, it's so incredibly annoying on some of those games that you just want to get in there and play, and then you have to like set them up and you have to play around with them. Now, to be fair, I haven't tried Beam and G on the Thrustmaster just yet. I have easily played it on the Fanatec though, so that's not something that I don't think I'm going to have any problems with the Thrustmaster. But that's the biggest reasons for like why I have, just downgraded, pretty much to not even like a downgrade. I've just, started using something as cost effective, I guess we could say cost effective, as the Thrustmaster T248. These things go on sale all the time, man. I think they're only like $329 or something right now. And for the customizability and stuff that you have out of the box, and the level of fine tuning that goes into this wheel and into the settings to make it feel good, like this feels so good on this game. Like, I'm blown away just how good this feels. Because I started with the Thrustmaster TX. I love that TX. I thought it was freaking great. But that thing never felt as good as this does on a rally game. Even going back to Dirt Rally 2.0, this wheel feels good. And I struggled on the TX, man. I struggled so hard with that. It was hard. And then I get on this and I start playing and I'm like, oh my gosh, dude, this thing just feels incredible. This feels so freaking good to like throw myself around these tracks and stuff. It does. Like it just holds up so much better than you would even imagine. Compared to like the direct drive wheels. Let me get out here over these rocks. Boo, yeah. It just feels so good. Like even compared to that, like I'm still getting a lot of the, I'm picking up a lot of the fine detail in here. Not as much as you would on a direct drive wheel, but you're getting a good enough sensation out of this wheel to like really be like, yeah, that's freaking awesome. That's fun. That feels good. This is convincing. It feels like I'm driving. I'm having a good time with this. You can be pretty fast on here too. You can, but once you don't try to go fast when you can't hear your freaking co-driver though, because I knew that turn was coming up, and gosh dang it, I do that every time I go off that freaking part right there. In all fairness though, I haven't put a whole lot of time into this, and these stages are so freaking long that like trying to like memorize these tracks is very, very hard. But like you remember stuff when you make a mistake. Like you do remember the areas that you make a mistake. It's just after where you make the mistake and just after. It's not before for some reason for me. I don't remember the sections. But yeah, guys, that's why I downgraded from Camus C12 12 Newton meter direct drive wheelbase with the load cell pedals to come back to the Thrustmaster, to the trusty thrusty. And that's why I call it trusty thrusty, because it just freaking works, man. You don't gotta go through all of the nonsense. You plug it, you play it, and you have a good time. It's simple. 99% of the time a new game comes out, unless it's like a AA game or something, even like Drive Rally, an indie game, had freaking Thrustmaster support. Like it just worked. And I was like, oh my gosh, dude. That made me happy, but it makes me sad that not a lot of people watch that video. That's pretty cool. I like racing games. There's a lot of them. You've got such a, whoa, shoot. When you can't hear your freaking co-driver and you're just chatting it up, you forget about stuff. But yeah, like being able, like you just have so many games that are out that you just have such an amazing amount of choice for racing games, and they usually hold up pretty well. Especially a lot of these newer games, they are starting to hold up very well. You could go back and you can usually get racing games extremely cheap. So buying your setup is going to be the most expensive part, but getting the software, the hardware is the most expensive part. Getting the software is going to be a lot better for you. Be able to, I mean, you can literally pick up a lot of those WRC Kiloton games now, very, very cheap. Usually like $5 to $15. You can get any one of those that you want. Dirt Rally 2.0 usually goes on sale a lot. This is actually only $15 right now. We got the new season coming out here in a couple days. So yeah, there's plenty of stuff to play on these and like get, a good experience. Like it's good. Like this absolutely blows my freaking mind how good this gosh dang Thrustmaster experience is. Compared to like my direct drive wheels. Like, don't get me wrong, direct drive, Fanatec, I mean, if you've got the money, that's probably where you want to be. I mean, yes, getting like a Thrustmaster $400 or $300, $329 or whatever, that is getting pretty close to the might as well just spend the extra couple $100 and get the direct drive. Like, I get it, man. Like, I get it. I 100% get it that, like, yeah, dude, it is close enough, but so is the experience. That's the realization that I came to, and probably the biggest reason why I have 100% been playing a lot with this Thrustmaster T248, even knowing I got a Fanatec sitting right there, $1,400 worth of Fanatec sitting right there, and I'm sitting here on the $400 trusty thrusty. It gets the job done. It's comfortable. It's fun, intuitive. I feel really good on it. I think it's because it surprised me about how well it is, to be completely honest with you. I love how they got the jet in the background with the freaking with the chemtrails. Oh gosh, when you look up in the clouds, if we could get back out of this rut, I was looking over there. It's gone now, but yeah, you can like see those every once in a while. Like you'll see like the jet flying across the screen. I was like, oh my gosh, that's insane. That is insane to see that. But that's the thing, guys. Like the Thrustmaster experience, it is definitely less expensive than the whole direct drive thing. And yes, direct drive is definitely the way to go if you've got the money. That is going to give you the best overall experience, probably the best longevity out of your hardware as well. But yeah, dude, I can literally see myself, you know, playing a lot of games right here on the Thrustmaster T248. That's how good this is. That is how good this wheel is. And the price of entry for this and like the wheel stand that I'm on right now, the wheel stand I'm on right now is like $249 for the full-on Next Level Racing wheel stand 2.0. Like this thing is awesome. You could turn this into a full-on cockpit. You can actually turn the new one into a full-on cockpit as well. I love Next Level Racing, man. These guys are so creative and they build some incredible products. Thrustmaster, Next Level Racing, incredible duo. All of your stuff is always drilled for Next Level Racing. So yeah, Next Level Racing and Thrustmaster. You know, honestly, guys, that's probably why I reached out to Next Level Racing in the first place, was because I was a Thrustmaster fan, and I always seen Next Level Racing paired with Thrustmaster, so it just kind of felt like a natural fit to me, and it does, man. It just works and it feels good. Like this is such an amazing experience for the price, the entry level. You can get this wheel and this stand for the same price as a Fanatec DD. So you get the DD, and then you kind of get to a point where you absolutely have to have a wheel stand or something to hook that to. Whereas the Thrustmaster, you're still good enough to hook these up to a tabletop. Like it's just at that point where you could still tabletop it and be okay. Whereas the Thrustmaster or direct drive wheelbase, you're gonna want that. You're gonna want something a little bit more solid for that experience than just a desktop or whatever. So yeah, you can get this basically this setup that I'm using right now for the same price as you can a Fanatec DD Pro, or like the Logitech is expensive. I mean, even for the cameras, man, you can get this same setup and still freaking have a good experience that is comparable. Actually pretty nice. It's like 3.2 Newton meters of power for this, and it actually feels pretty good. It's actually just enough. Honestly, I think this is just perfect for rally racing for me, to be completely honest with you. You don't really need it to hit a whole lot harder than what it's doing right now. This actually feels pretty dang good. You don't feel like it's ripping the wheels out of your hand, but then when you're jumping and hitting the bumps and stuff, you're feeling the tires. Like it's cool. Like you can feel that pneumatic pressure when you come off these jumps and stuff, and it does feel good. Like when you go into a rut, you can feel it pulling in your tires and stuff. Like it's good. Like this is a good enough experience to where I'm like, wow, I love this. Honestly, if I wasn't talking and I could hear my co-driver, we'd be doing a lot freaking better, a lot better. But I have it turned down. I can't hear him. I've got my air conditioner up. So yeah, I just can't hear the co-driver. So so yeah, we're just kind of guessing and stuff. So, oh, my friends, I know that like I've got over 87, I was just checking today, I've got over 87 videos praising Camus. 87 of them. That's how much that wheelbase meant to me. I liked it. I loved it. I thought it was incredible. When I fell in love with that Camus when I first started playing like my my WRC Kiloton WRC games. I fell in love with it, man. I was like, oh my gosh, I love the way this feels on gravel roads and stuff. Like it just felt incredible. Probably the most realistic thing I've ever felt in terms of like having like the suspension, the way it works. I mean, look at this. I'm catching up to this guy. Look at this clown. What are you doing, bro? What are you doing, man? Gosh, get on with it already. Why are you sitting over there on the side of the road, bro? Waiting for me to catch up? This dude right here. My gosh, man. What's going on with that guy? I don't know. I think I was I think I was filming a video with that guy too. To be completely honest with you. Like, this is the PC version. I had to buy a Steam version just so that I could play it with PSVR 2. I haven't played, I played with it the first couple of weeks and I'm just like, oh gosh, I haven't really touched it since. I've literally, I get so sidetracked, and you know, when I'm trying to play stuff. So that's the thing, guys. It's not that I freaking don't like the higher end quality stuff. I'm just saying that, like, right now, guys, in our economy and the way things are going right now, I just want people to have fun. I just want people to be able to have fun and to be able to enjoy these, and humbling myself back down to, you know, like this type of a product, this entry level product is actually really rewarding, honestly, to be able to tell you the truth. Like, learning how to, you know, sim race on something like the Thrustmaster T248 for me, my friends, it's actually really good. You start to pay attention to the way things feel, because direct drive versus this, obviously you're going to feel things completely differently. This has got a lot more granularity to it, which is fine. I hear a lot of people always talking about that, but when you're on a tarmac road and you're driving and you kind of got that little granularity, it actually feels better than nothing. Like, it's so smooth on direct drive, you literally just feel nothing unless you hit like a bump, and then you can feel the shocks or something like that, or you're hitting pothole, or you're going into just the way the road surface is, you know, if it's an uneven road surface and you get one tire that goes down or slopes or something, like, you can feel all of that in a direct drive wheel, and it feels really close to real life. Like, it feels really close. But on here, like, you're always feeling that granularity of like the road surface, you know, through the steering, and it lets you know that there's like a feeling there, where 90% of the time on direct drive there's just nothing, because you just don't feel any of that. Whereas on this, you actually get that. And I'm kind of excited to test this Logitech G23. To be completely honest with you, I hear a lot of good things about the True Force, so I want to test that out. I want to put it next to my trusty Thrusty and see how it's gonna do. So yeah, guys, I'm excited. I do love this wheelbase. I think it is absolutely incredible and definitely worth your money. I know that I was pretty hard on Thrustmaster back in the day when I first switched over to direct drive, but gosh dang, man, I think it was just because I spent so much money. I bought a T150, I bought a TMX, then I bought a TX, then I bought a wheel, then I bought T3PA Pro pedals. I bought like all this stuff. I spent like a couple $1,000 just buying all this stuff, and I'm like, when they sent that out to me, and I'm like, really, I could have got all of this for half the price? You know what I mean? Like, I was like, what the heck is going on? But yes, my friends, yes, this is incredible. I think it's absolutely worth your money. I think it's absolutely worth your time. So if you like this content, do not forget to like and subscribe, my friends. I'll see you in the next one. Thank you for watching.